everyone, it's Billy Rude from FIFTY8 magazine, and thank you for watching The Art of Consciousness, the Sea of Light. We must become reborn, an evolution of molecular and purified intent. Quantum mechanics says any particle, any electron exists simultaneously in every dimension as everything other than what it presently seen is.
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
There is no spoon?
Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself.
Every subatomic particle, as the divine director, we expect energy to be that electron. That electron exists simultaneously outside of our observation as every other particle potential in every other time, including this one. We observe energy according to our attitude, and all energy matches that attitude. We then have selected out of a continuum of potential a limited reality. This attitude is also potentially an attitude of immortality. So who is creating your reality? You are. You think you're nearsighted? You are near-mindedness. You think you are far-sighted? You throw away everything out there and postpone it. We're everything we think we are, and that is the way it is. In order for the world to change, we must look to the tiny.
It is like a seed. A single grain of mustard seed, which a woman took and sowed in her garden. And it grew, and it grew, and the birds of the air made nests in its branches.
Like the mustard seed, to see, for when we do, the kingdom of heaven will appear, because we will have the attitude to be able to see it, and then it will appear. Every tiny molecule is a compressed program, a circuitry pre-programmed and animated with intent. The brain's job is to create thought in 4 dimensions, which then can transfer thought into the midbrain, where it is processed into chemicals. When the body is in tune with the divine director, it creates harmony, which equals whatever your divine director thinks, the body becomes. And the body is a giant laboratory. The brain is where the alchemist works to transfer thoughts in the biological material that can be then sent to every cell in the DNA to come unraveled at the place to where the thought exists, and have a fax made of that copy, and then that fax is sent through a little machinery inside of the cell that creates chains of amino acids. Amino acids are tiny strands that make up small proteins. They are particles of variance of human intent. And this little cell creates a bead of these, a necklace, which reconfirms itself to attitudes. Hormones are made out of proteins or amino acids, and it takes amino acids to make proteins. They are tiny beads of amino acids. There is an amino acid for every attitude, and how we place the amino acids represents and reflects exactly the thought happening up in the brain. So every thought you think transfers into amino acid chains, peptides, and they now flow through the bloodstream, which tells and teaches the cells everything you are listening to. This is why a closed mind starves the body and feeds it only energy of victimization, suffering, and limited thinking. This is why an open mind is so important to gain knowledge through evolution to change our realities. When we look at our life, then we can see the cause of everything, our own abuse of power to imagine. If you feel lost or have lost control, you have just lost the ability to dream. Rising like the phoenix means to banish out paradigms and programs of the past. We have to burn the nest and have a new purified intent to be reborn, to be free. All miracles happen when we hold the dream and never give up trying to figure out what they are going to be made of. No people, places, things, times, and events, because that is based upon personality, memory, which are the coagulated particles of reality that are holding it out here in front of you. Hold on to your dreams and insist that it becomes your reality, because then it will come looking for you.
I'm frightened, Mr. Lizard.
What?
I'm only a girl, not a princess.
And I'm only a lizard, not a footman. Enjoy it while it lasts.
To change the program, the anatomy of the body, is to hold a feeling of what it is to be healed, young, wealthy, inspired, whatever you want to be, every day. Then the body will experience that because it already exists in your first reality, the mind. We are divine beings wearing a body that we mold with our divine director. When we change our mind, our reality is going to change. Pure and simple. This discovery gives explanations to the theory of consciousness, of the Holy Spirit, our divine director, and the science of religion and faith. These theories create unity and purpose to our world, where past discoveries have been about separation. So ask for something that you've never had. There's an art to a long thought. Focus for 3 days and 3 nights of sincere focus and hold it. And don't ask for money or it will fry you. Just become the experience of the thing desired. Create the picture so your divine director can look at it. The permeation of becoming what you say, the hardwiring, is the perfume of the flower, is the sheer joy of being joy, the smell of thought into matter that has become. It is the experience of feeling great when you wake up in the morning because you have fueled your cells consistently over a period of time. You must be the excellent gardener who nourishes it in the simple requirements of letting your divine director see it, saying who you are, and letting the sun shine upon it and living it. And then you begin to produce your own energy machine, and the universe will provide all the things that you need, provided that you execute the procedure of an in-depth conscious focus, which means that you desire the experience, the intentional manifestation, and willfully engage it. The experience will then bring that adventure and bring it into manifestation. If it doesn't happen, either you don't want it, you don't want to change because of it, or you doubt your focus, your reality, and people, places, things, times, and events, and ideas is where your mind is. That is the ripple, the frequency specific that begins to encompass all other frequency specifics of other minds that begin to come together in harmony, in union. The mind is the only reality. Mind is the quantum field to spring up these ideas into physical reality. Wealth is not about value. It is about the unlimited use of energy. Every day embrace that you are fabulously wealthy and that nothing in you has to answer to whether you deserve it or not. It is no longer a question. The desire and embracing of unlimited energy is worth going after. Never ever pay attention to lack again. Use your will, the desire to be whatever you want.
When you were younger, did you ever think if you looked away from something that it may just disappear?
The ability to focus and manifest anything because the thing is incidental. It is the journey, the experience, the divine director is interested in. It wants the wisdom to externalize you forever and ever. You are only going to get what is equal to your desirability, your hunger, your passion, your devotion, your sincerity. Consciousness and energy originally created the dream and then reflected it back, engaged it, and then got wisdom, which is the jewel of the experience. We must find the passion in our lives. Passion is the desire to hold your dream in the forefront of your consciousness and to never give up through the labyrinth of everyday life. You are overcome with spirit, the idea, the desire, the surrender of what you say and think. You let go of words and become them and set in motion the energy to unfold it to its most unconditional intensity. You know that you will never be betrayed because you are the one in control with the power of your will. Your consciousness becomes a fire like the phoenix and will live forever. And this is the art of consciousness.
She's right.